These bitches be texting me. Welcome back, y'all, to another alcohol-fueled fun fest that is Drunk Upon a Time. I'm your host, Dom, and I am joined by a slew of what have become practically originals when you can see them in the frame. We have, of course, at the bottom here, and I hope he stays at the bottom or this is going to sound awful, my brother from another mother, the legendary roast battler, local comedian, just all-around funny guy, my dude, Aaron, who I can call Aaron because he's the only Aaron on the show, a.k.a. Uncie Keenan, if you've been watching.
What up, y'all? How y'all doing?
And then over here, we have pretty much like my partner in crime for every show, Grandma Wendy, Latina Heat. Say hello to the people out there in Drunkland. At least she didn't do the Carol Baskin thing this time.
Oh, you cool kids and kittens?
Damn you! And fuck that bitch.
I love it.
Fuck that bitch.
There
okay,
I am.
and of course next to her is her hairier, degenerate, sleazeball, not so much better half. I'm just kidding. My dude, the Mandalorian without a helmet. Jose, what's going on, man?
What's up?
I think he's feeling it already from the looks of You can always tell you got those little slit eyes. You just lean back. You're way too comfortable.
Actually, it's more food related than alcohol related.
Oh, is it food?
Oh, that's even better.
We went to
it might be.
We got some subs from there, the footlongs, and the guy like really packed it in. We have like 3-pound baby sandwiches. Like these things were massive.
Ooh, baby sandwiches.
Okay, can we let it?
I ate a grocery shelf size version of tuna.
Yeah, you have
I was gonna say, can it be known that she said foot long and crammed it in, and I didn't laugh once?
Oh, you failed.
Just putting it out there. Go back, check tape. I didn't say nothing.
Crammed in foot long.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, drunk and chill is cool. Food combos are cool. But if you've ever been drinking till last call and then you go somewhere and get a quesadilla, it is fucking delicious. Little scientific research I did in my 20s. Just passing it along to you.
You pass on the wisdom.
I'm trying. I'm trying to educate.
Pass on the flavor.
Street heroes.
Oh yeah, street big old lamb hero.
Yeah.
Lamb heroes.
I mean, I'm sorry, but
like a Lebanese place where they're not like they basically just fry the thing.
I gotta let my bias come out and just say Philly cheesesteak.
No, I like Cheese Whiz.
With like not the Cheese Whiz. That's like some bullshit. Pat's told you that's what that is. That ain't legit. Like, don't buy that bullshit. Trust me.
They tell me the Cheese Whiz is legit.
That's what they tell you because they're trying to sell it to you and make money. Okay, take it from a cheesesteak fiend that grew up in the backyard of them. It ain't legit. No, you get the extra mozzarella. You get them fried onions and everything. They saute them up real nice. God damn, I want one of those now. See, you're making me hungry.
I do it too, man.
Road trip.
Yeah, fuck it. I've been drinking. Let's go to
right.
We'll just do this from the car.
And I got a Prius now, so we can get like 60 to the gallon. So let's ride.
We'll get there on like less than a quarter of a tank. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody cram in the Prius.
I went to I went to DC and back on a half a tank, or Maryland and back a half a tank.
Wow, all the way.
It's crazy. Maryland. Basically, I average a gallon a tank per hour. Like so if like I'm going 60 miles an hour, then I'll use 1 gallon because you can like time it out. So it's pretty crazy.
The problem I have with Priuses is
Oh,
I'm
man.
small, so I can't see over the dash. I struggle.
You're small.
And
I'm like Yokozuna in that damn thing,
He's
man.
kind of little too.
and so,
I'm like
the dash is,
Rikishi.
No, see, I have the opposite because I'm 6'4", and if I get in a Prius, I'm like my head's right here on the roof.
I didn't say it would be a comfortable
I've seen
ride,
so
but I
much
said we'll
dash
get there.
It sure the
The
fuck
worst.
ain't, but we'll get there.
Exactly.
You
But
look like-
it does come with like a superior like JBL Bose whatever system. That shit thumps, yo.
Wow.
Like it's just like weird. I don't even know which brand it is. I was like, I've never heard car speakers like this before.
You put tuna from the can.
I know. I got like the Bose upgraded system in my truck, and I'm like, oh, this is
Mm.
nice. I
Mm.
might not need subwoofers. I want them, but I might not need them. And I'm 41, so I've kind of outgrew them, you know?
Yeah.
But I still
I was
want
just
them.
saying, like we've gotten to the age now where like people with systems in their car is not even a thing anymore because cars come with them already.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
It
It's like, I don't
disappeared.
know. I don't
Sure.
need them, but I want them.
Yeah.
Like I have a little 2013 Honda Fit, turquoise, color of the mermaid. But that sound system, oof. Turn
Yeah.
up that bass, turn down that treble. Oh.
Yeah. That's exactly what I did in my truck. It was like bass all the way up, treble down. Okay, let's roll.
I always put my treble at like 3/4 up and then put my bass at, everybody put the bass all the way up. But I try to do that. But then I try to like disbalance my left and right speaker
Yo, my
so it kind of has like a.
My stuff's fancy though. I got like mid-range treble. I got like a little EQ I can fuck with on a touch screen. I'm like,
Nice.
wow.
Yeah.
No, mine's kind of basic. It's just treble, bass, left or right or center. How do you want it? And I'm like, all bass, no treble, dead center. I want it to feel the whole car, just reverberating. I want my mirrors to shake.
No, Aaron will tell you that was my little. I had like a 2003 Mazda Protege in the trunk.
Yeah.
There were 2 JL Audio competition 12-inch subwoofers. So there's a tiny little car with these big ass subwoofers that max out at like 5,000 watts a piece and a 4,000 watt amp in the trunk. It shook the car apart and the car still drove. I loved it.
Dom actually got his kid to stop having the hiccups by turning the bass up so high.
I did. True story.
That is genius. Oh
I tried to keep the subwoofers off, when he was in the back seat and he started hiccuping and I was driving. I couldn't do anything about it. And I didn't want him to spit up. So I was like, I got you. I turned the subwoofers back on, cut that shit right out.
My old car
And he
was
has a hiccup to this day.
Not once. Also
My
true
old
story.
car was a 2000 Chevy Metro, and the first thing I did was blow out the speakers.
Like before you even left the parking lot, you just
Yeah. I got in there. I was like, "Oh, I can play this loud." And then, boom.
I didn't even have that chance.
I was like,
My first car was a 1983 Buick Riviera, just this big pimpin' ass boat. And the first day I got it, I had spent like $500 on it in like 1996. And I'm driving it home from this shitty little dealership, and as I pull up in my parking lot, the transmission fell out.
damn.
Hour 1, just right there in my driveway. I was like,
the lemon. I'd be pissed.
I had to go back to work and save up money to fix a car I just bought.
That's bullshit.
Mm.
No,
I was mad.
Dang.
My car was $1,000, and the neighbor
Oh,
was
wow.
selling it. And my mom, the 2000 Chevy Metro, neighbor was selling it, and I think we were like the third owner that it ever had. And my mom had like $500 in cash, and I remember her calling my dad, and she was just like, "Bermudez, I need you to bring me $500 right now." He was like, "Okay."
Wow.
And he just showed up, and he didn't ask any questions. He's like, "There you
I
go."
I gotta tell you though, by the time that car was like all fixed up and everything else, it was sweet. I used to call it Latino heat because it had air shocks in it, and I could pull up and just hit it and it would drop, and I could control it so it would look like I was going on 3 wheels or I was raised up. All those other just had subwoofers, neon tubing in the car. It was all like lit up in green. The car was like a deep emerald green. I was smoking sticky green in it all the time because it had like 7 ashtrays and 2 doors. I mean, fit 8 people. It was like, nope. It was a badass car, but when I first got it, I was mad at it. I was like, But it totally turned into a lowrider after a couple of years. It was sweet.
I never realized how much money, especially until I got this one. Like I never realized how much money I just spent on just cars. Like if I would have just bought a nice or a decent car from day one, my life would be totally different at this moment.
Instead of hoopty after hoopty
Yeah,
after
that I
hoopty.
fixed up. Dude, I went through 4 cars in 4 years, yo.
Jesus.
I was just like, and they were all after, like I put mad money into it. So like with this car here, oh no, I'm like Mama Bird at this point. Like,
Yeah, that's like this one right now. It's like, no, we're gonna baby this bitch because she's fly.
Like I can promise you, if something happens to this car, it's on.
Dude, no, with this car, with my mermaid, she's gone through some shit, man.
Yeah.
Had my car broken into, they smashed my window.
What?
And, I was going into a parking garage one time. This giant SUV was barreling towards me. She didn't move. So she ended up basically running me into a wall. The whole passenger side was fucked. I got hit in the back. So my hatchback, the door does not open. It's just jammed right in.
Damn.
Wow.
So
when
I
did that happen?
The parking garage was, maybe 2 years ago? Because I've had it 3 years. I got broken into, last fall?
Yeah, because I remember that one.
Yeah. Just
I was like, okay, let me get my gun. Who do I have to come after?
Yeah. And then the back door was last summer, I think it was. Lady wasn't paying attention.
Dang, bro, it's been that long since last summer.
Wow. Yo, I can't believe this. She must be able to, either she knows I'm recording or she can hear me from here, but I'm actually getting text messages from Kathy in the back with my son asking questions. Like, she's like, why don't you ask everybody what their worst date in history was? I was like, what? And she's like, growing up, like, what was your worst date? I'm like, this is not a bad question. I have a perfect fucking answer.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Okay, Uncie Keenan, Aaron, I'll let you kick things off then. Go ahead, man.
All right. So this one, and I don't know if I've told this one on air before. This one kind of all normally goes to the same night. So there was somebody that we used to work with, right? And I feel bad because every story just starts out with one of our coworkers and me and trying to holler at them. Anyway, it's a problem. I'm working on it.
No, he isn't. He's loving every second of it.
Worst date ever. I went with her to Ruby Tuesdays, right? And it was snowing and stuff on the ground. Did I tell you this one already?
I think you might have.
Okay, and I slipped and fell on the ice when I tried to kiss her.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So here's the back half of that story, and I don't think I did tell. Like, she had a lot of cats, right? And so I get to her place. I pretty much got attacked. Like, I'm talking like Mufasa and Scar attacked. Like, it was bad. Yeah. Like, my shoestrings were coming undone. And, like, of course, it smelled like cat piss. So, like, I'm trying to, like, really, really, really work on this shit real hard. And I felt like I think it was, like, date number 3. So I'm just like, yo, I'm bound at least tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it better be.
Her cat is, like, fucking my shoestrings up. Her neighbor comes and tells me to move her car, like, because I'm going to move my car because I'm, like, parked in their parking spot and stuff. And then not only that, but when I get out, I had a bad I can't remember the part on the car, but it's the one you have to tap to get your car to start. Like if it's going bad or whatever.
Oh, the alternator.
Okay, the alternator, yeah. So
yeah,
like my alternator is also going bad, and I still had to drive home all the way 30 minutes or whatever back to Hampton. So that was probably the worst overall night because I slipped and fell. I ended up driving home smelling like cat pee and scratched up and probably some type of cat scratch disease and
possibly
everything else.
Concussed, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, that was hands down my worst date. It's also my most interesting one, but hands down my worst.
All right, yeah, that sounds pretty shitty. I don't know if I have a beat, but I already have this picture of Mike. Because anytime somebody says worst date, the first thing that comes to my mind is this double date that I had. I had a friend. And her cousin was coming into town, and she wanted to introduce me. And she was like, "Oh, maybe you could find a friend for me. We could double date." And I was like, "Dope." So I got my boy Matt, who I've known since like 5th grade, like still know him like 30 fucking years later. And I was like, "Yo, you said you wanted to hook up with so and so because I don't want to put her name on here." And he was like, "Yeah, why?" I was like, She wants me to find somebody to go on a double date with her and her cousin. I'm getting hooked up with the cousin. You want her? He's like, hell yeah. I said, all right, come by my crib after work. I'm gonna get cleaned up, and then we'll jump in the Buick because this was still the first car, and we'll go. But I hadn't fixed it up completely yet, and so everything goes smooth. Like get out, get back home from work in the same car, get home, get cleaned up, get looking fly like I am right now,
Mm-hmm.
and my boy comes over now. Now he was driving something that we called the Rush Hour Brick. It was like a early '80s Chevy Cavalier station wagon that was like rust color red to begin with. And this car was so old and ghetto that we just started painting shit on it because we felt like it. Like, wash me, you honor me by giving me gas, kill me please. Like just whatever the fuck we felt like we put on it. We had like little like Brahma Bull rock stickers on it and Rage Against the Machine, just anything to make this thing look better. Because anything you did made it look better. So there was no way we were taking that. So he gets to my place. I come out. We jump in my car. I hit the key. The fucker just starts with this. Like, not now. And I'm checking everything because my father's a mechanic and I know a good bit of shit. And I drug him out and I'm like, yo, let's check. And we're testing the alternator, the battery, whatever. Everything's good. Won't start. I'm like, oh no. And he's like, we can meet him in the Brick. I was like, no, we can't. If we meet him in the Brick, we ain't getting nowhere. Like, my car is bad. Your car is awful. He's like, well, what the fuck should we do? And I said, I don't know. Hang on a second. I'm trying to like borrow my parents' cars. They're like, fuck that. I call them up. I tell my friend what's going on. Her and her cousin are waiting for it. They're like, we'll just come pick you up. I'm like, all right, that's kind of lame, but okay. So like already we're off to a bad start. My friend shows up in like a mid-90s Ford Probe, like 2-door hatchback.
Oh wow,
roof.
classic.
And so my buddy Matt gets to ride in shotgun with her because that's his date. I'm sitting in the teeny itty bitty hatchback part in the back behind him. Now Matt is 6'2", I'm 6'4", so he's practically in my lap. I'm like pressed up against the back windshield like this, with her cousin sitting next to me, and we're on our way out to go to dinner. On the way out to go to dinner, I reach down, I grab a cigarette out of my pocket, I light it, and Matt opens the window for me because my friend smoked and she didn't care if you did. Like I asked for it, and I'm puffing away, and this girl, her cousin, just starts giving me like the stink eye. I'm like, what's the matter? She's like, oh, I just can't stand smoke. It's so disgusting. Blah blah blah. I'm like, cool. I reach up, I flick it out the window. No big deal. 2 minutes later, she was drinking a bottle of Sprite, like the 20-ounce plastic bottle. She finishes it. She then pulls a can of Skull out of her fucking pocket, gets a big fucking handful of chewing tobacco, and starts spitting the spitting this in this bottle. And I'm like, yo, that is fucking nasty.
This date
and she's
is
like,
over.
and she looks at me and goes, really? I love it. With this big thing. So immediately, like now I'm mad because I chucked a cigarette out the window, and those shits weren't expensive back then, but still I was broke. So I was like, fuck that. I just pulled another cigarette back out, started smoking. I don't give a fuck anymore. And the whole time, like my buddy and my friend, who is a woman, my buddy Matt and this girl are hitting it off, having a great time. So instead of being on a double date now, I am just a wingman for a girl I can't fucking stand.
Pretty much.
And I'm sitting there, and she is finding like every which way to insult me while we're sitting there at the table. Just like, did you notice that your nose is like real big? I'm like, yeah, I can smell that tobacco chewing breath from a mile of fucking way. You want to back up? It's all night. So like Matt and my friend are having a great date, and I am chaperoning a bitch I can't stand all night long. So when the night's finally over, they bring us back to my house, and they want to drop my friend's cousin off at my house because they want to go back to Matt's place. And I'm like, you leave this bitch here and she will be out in the cold. Because it's middle of winter in Philly. I'm like, you leave her here, she's going to freeze to death because I ain't letting her in. And they're all mad, and I'm like, whatever. And my buddy, he's like, obviously you hate this bitch. Here, take her home, and tosses me the keys to the Rush Hour Brick. I'm like, whatever, fuck it. I don't care at this point. Get in the car. She's like, oh my God, is that your car? It's so ugly. I'm like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Get in.
Just getting the damn brick.
Like, I just want to get her home. I want to go back to my place, have a little something to drink, have a little something to smoke, and get this night over because I am fucking just done. I'm about half an hour from her house. 15 minutes in, the rush hour brick just stalls, doing 60 miles an hour. And I'm sitting there, I'm working on it on the side of the road. I can't get it to start. Like the alternator completely croaked because I'm tapping it, nothing's happening. This girl's in the car just giving me a mean look, like rolling down the window every now and then. Is it gonna start? I'm cold. I'm like, freeze, bitch. I don't care. And so finally, a state trooper pulls up next to us. And he asked what's going on. And I said, oh, I was taking this girl home and my car broke down and blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, well, do you have a license and registration? I'm like, well, yeah, here's my license. But, okay, technically it's not my car. It's my friend's car. I don't know where the registration is.
Uh-oh.
He's like, well, if I was you, I'd find it. Okay. And then he goes and he asks this girl for her ID.
Oh, boy.
She hands him the ID. Now, it's like 1 a.m. She hands him the ID. He's like, sir, are you aware she's only 16 years old?
Whoa.
Now I am.
I was like, I am now?
Oh,
And he
boy.
said, well, what were your intentions with this young lady? I was like, bring her the fuck home and get her the hell up out of my life. I was like, oh, by the way, she also has some chewing tobacco in her pocket. I don't know how she got that. It wasn't me, but, you know,
Stole
she
it
shouldn't
from a
have
co-ass
that.
mom.
You know.
Is that illegal to have as a minor? Chewing tobacco?
All tobacco products if you're under 18.
So he then puts her in the car, in his car, says he's going to take her home, and he called me a tow truck.
Oh, thank God.
Wow.
I sit there on the side of the road till 3 a.m. waiting for this tow truck.
Yeah, I've been there.
And eventually,
We all have.
I had a buddy who worked down the street, like graveyard 7-Eleven, and he was coming home and he saw me and he pulls over and he's like, dude, you okay? I'm like, not really. Had a shitty day. Waiting on a tow truck for a car I don't even own. He's like, well, fuck it. Hop in. I'll take you home. I'm like, whatever. Lock the car up, jump in the car, jump in his car, go home, leave that shit on the side of the road. That was by far the worst goddamn date I ever had. Like, I wasn't even interested 10 minutes into it. And we were literally, I was with this girl from 7 at night to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And oh my God, 10 minutes in, I was like, get this bitch away from me. And it just kept going. It just kept going. It just kept going. It's like it's like every Star Wars prequel you went to in a movie theater, like 10 minutes in, you're like, oh my God, this sucks. And you still have 2.5 more hours.
Wow.
Fuck!
Wow, that was heavy.
Yeah,
that's a big insult. If somebody says you're worse than a Star Wars
Yo, this girl,
right?
But did you hear who I just described? She was totally worth it. I mean, she's chewing on tobacco after making me put out a cigarette. She's 16, and my friend doesn't bother to tell me that. And I'm like,
she's
fucking
the whole date shit talking you too. Fuck that bitch.
And at the time, I'm like 20. You know, like. What? Like, this is technically statutory if I touched her. Like, no, I didn't do shit. I swear to God. But if I would have.
Don't OJ this. Don't go that route.
I'm trying not to,
OJ.
my friend.
It didn't work for OJ. Don't do that.
I feel it. I'm trying not to. But yeah, that was a horrible
if I did it,
date.
No, don't do that.
Don't start with that if I did it defense.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to have to go with the I did it, if I did it, or the glove don't fit. You know, the condom broke, so this ain't no joke. You know.
Ooh. Hey, Alex, I was thinking about this the other day. I think if I was OJ, regardless if I did it or not, on my dying breath, I would just go psych, or like got you bitch or something like that.
Got you bitch.
And just pass like.
No, man,
like,
that whole did either of you guys
even
read
if
that
he
book?
did
though?
do it.
Did either of you guys read that book?
I didn't.
It's basically a confession presented as a hypothetical.
I was gonna say I read like cliff notes and little reviews and stuff, and from what I saw,
I read that book,
it was practically a confession without a cop present. It was just I did it. I did it. I
No
did it. I did
bullshit.
it.
No
Chapter
bullshit.
2, how I
I
did
read
it.
it cover to cover twice, right?
So
One
it's
right
good
after the
then.
other, and
Like
it's
chapter-
no, because I'm like,
Chapter 3,
bullshit.
Johnny
This is
Cochran
legitimate
is my
bullshit.
homeboy.
No,
You know?
hold on. It was such a bullshit ass read the first time. I was like, hold on, I'm severely mind blown. This man just literally confessed to murdering his wife and been like, maybe.
Allegedly.
So I had to reread it because I was like, you really selling this hypothetical? You really believe this? And it feels like, you know, when you have to lie to your mom that you broke that vase, but you have to lie to your mom and say your little brother did it. So you stand in front of the mirror and you practice and you're like, I did not break the vase.
Or you just be like, the dog knocked it
Practice
over.
it, you practice it, so you have it down pat. That's what it read like. And I'm
I
like,
didn't have any little brothers or
this man
sisters, so
practiced
I
his
had to
story.
blame it on the dog. It was always the dog knocked it over. The dog
Yep.
did it. The
But it was a
dog was
practice
drinking
story.
all your alcohol,
And that's
not
how
me.
the book reads. That's how the book reads. Like he's practiced this story and he has told
Wow.
times he believes his own bullshit and he's able to sit here and straight face say, maybe I did it, maybe I didn't.
Maybe.
That's the
You
juice.
dead ass did it.
You know what? You know what was even worse though? He got away with murder, but then he got locked up for stealing his own picture. Ain't that a bitch? Like you get away with murder, but you can't steal your own jersey back, right? Like
If you get away with murder, you just go live a quiet life. You
Yeah.
come back to the spotlight. You never do anything.
or you hire a heist crew that doesn't need a walker.
And-
That might
and
be good.
Especially if you're colored full. Just go live a quiet life. Don't
Yeah.
pay attention to you. You
Yeah.
already did the impossible. You got away with murder as a black man in America.
In public.
You
Right,
made history. You know what I'm
He
saying?
did it in the middle or the alley of a neighborhood. Like
Right? The whitest neighborhood ever. Go live in a cottage in the country and bring no more
And
attention.
those people,
to
But you
those
yourself.
gotta-
people are all like,
man.
"No, officer, I didn't see a thing."
You have to remember, OJ didn't think himself like in that way. Remember,
That's
asked
true.
Him, like they asked him, and like even Jay-Z did that whole
I'm OJ.
the OJ, and like it's like, how does it feel to be black? And he's like, I'm not black, I'm OJ. It's like he never saw himself as that. He never saw.
Yeah.
He never thought that anything of his skin would affect him in any way because he was living that life.
Well, you know, you run for 2,000
Sure.
yards, get them lethal, them Naked Gun movies, and all of a sudden, you know.
And Roots, 20 and Roots 2 or something like
He
that.
was in Roots. He was
Yeah.
the guy that
Yeah.
chases Kunta,
Mhm.
Ironically, right?
ironically.
Maybe. It's so horrible.
Which
that
is
we can laugh
weird.
at that,
Which
but
is
that's funny.
weird. You were in Roots,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and you still like just walk around being like, I'm untouchable.
Yeah.
I've achieved the unachievable.
Well, he thought he was until he got locked up for some stupid
My
shit.
personal theory is my personal theory is that defense was horrible, and because
Yeah.
he got off, they were going to target him anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like they were watching everything he did
Yep.
because they wanted to get him back.
Yep.
Just think of all the
He
tabloids
lost,
and
he
stuff.
lost that civil suit.
Yeah.
He lost
That's
it
right.
bad.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Nah, he really did. I don't
Yeah.
know if he ever paid a dime of it, but he really
Oh no,
did.
Jesus no.
No, I think all the earnings from the book goes to the family.
That's about it.
Oh,
really. The earnings of the book
okay,
I'm
is-
sure
yeah,
that's what he
yeah.
said. I'm sure that's
Simpson
what he
and
said, but I wonder if they ever got a check.
And you know, wasn't he like a really, really good poker player? So he probably got money they don't know about.
Probably.
Like-
Dude, he's still living good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was
He's
living
I
in
don't know
basically-
jail,
how.
He's basically MC Hammer poor.
Yeah.
which is still not
That's the
bad.
best way to put
Which
it.
is what we all long to be on this show.
Yeah.
Like, just
MC
let me be
Hammer was
MC
just on a
Hammer
Geico
poor.
commercial.
Right?
But the thing is, a lot of people think like they sleep. They're like, he's like, look, I gave too much money to friends because I had a big heart, and that's what cost my business.
Yeah.
But on the low, that man was investing in a lot of things. Like he
Yeah.
invested in a lot of multimedia stuff.
Yeah, a lot of real estate.
Yeah, real estate, and he's
Uh-huh.
like, I
Probably got some offshore accounts,
Yeah.
But
He liquidated though for
he
sure.
did.
He
really
liquidated
did.
for
Hey.
sure.
We got to pray.
We got to pray just to make it today. We got to pray.
Every day of my life. Too legit.
Oh, man.
Too legit to quit.
You know, I was thinking about, like, his MC Hammer was basically Little Nas X. He was the first Little Nas X.
And he had a cartoon.
He did.
And he had a cartoon.
Yeah,
And
with the
when
magic
he on a
shoes.
cereal box. Yeah, with the magic shoes. Like, this
Everybody
dude
had
here.
parachute pants.
it blew my mind. The
I had
hammer
parachute
pants and
pants
all.
as a kid.
I had them shits. The hammer pants and all. I could excuse. The thing that bothered me was when he came back like mid '90s and was trying to be a thug.
Oh,
Hardcore.
Like he had the Timbs
West
on,
Coast thug.
and the big hockey
Hardcore
jersey
MC Hammer?
and the beanie.
It was, well, you got to remember, it was Party MC Hammer, Hardcore MC Hammer, Come Back to Jesus MC Hammer.
MC Hammer. Yeah, I didn't mind the beginning and the end, but the middle when he was just trying to be a thug, it was like, really?
Well,
Hanging out
really?
with Suge Knight, yo.
Right, hanging out with Suge on
personally-
death row.
personally, that should show you that it's all an illusion.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
The whole like music industry, it's an illusion.
For some
It's
people,
fake.
yes.
That K-pop stuff, oh gosh.
For some
It's
people,
all an
yes.
illusion. Like, because
Yeah.
for
I
instance,
think we know some people
did
where
you all
it's
know
real to
that
them,
Snoop
damn
Dogg
it.
and Brandy are cousins?
Yeah, I did know that.
Oh,
Yes.
And
And not Warren G. And isn't that his cousin too? Warren G, Snoop Dogg cousin?
yeah,
I think so.
No,
Yeah.
Warren G is Dre's brother.
yeah, Rick Dre's.
Oh yeah.
Ah, 90s hip hop. Always. Even Sasha Banks is like Snoop's niece or whatever.
I think she's like his like second cousin or some shit.
Like, thanks for the
Yeah.
music, Uncle Snoop. You know, with that
No
big ass
crabs.
forehead.
The whole 8 head of hers.
12.
We just keep adding.
Sasha Banks is about to star in the new reboot of the Coneheads. She won't even need makeup. Wow.
That'll be a solid remake right now. They can redo Coneheads.
I keep telling people I'm kind of a
It's so
genius, but
perfect.
they don't want to
Really?
listen.
Yeah. Well, they
Those
could
are
for the
shit.
sake of graphics. Like if they did it kind of like how they did Jumanji and just kind of made it more modern. Coneheads would be a good show to that could be relaunched.
I
mean,
You know, at this
I have the
moment,
squinty eyes of doubt. This means no.
at
Yeah.
this moment, I think we're
I kind
also
of want to see it
hungry.
again, though.
We're so hungry for escape.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, I
Especially
watched the
right
Bill
now.
and Ted 3 trailer about 7 times at work yesterday.
Dude,
Yeah, I put it on, like, once a week.
trailer's lying to all of us.
It is.
They all
That
do.
movie, I feel that movie's not going to be good.
I
Oh,
gotta
that brings
support
up-
it anyway. Like
that brings up
they
a
pretty much raised
random-
me.
That brings up a random thought question that I have. What is the one movie that sticks out in your head when like you saw the trailer or you were just ready for it because it's part of a saga that you were so hyped to go see in theaters, and when you got there you were just like, no.
Master of Disguise.
Why was he not turtle enough for the
Early enough
Turtle
for the
Club?
Turtle Club.
Turtle.
That's
That's the only good part of that
I
movie.
have
by the way.
left only one movie early in my entire life, and that
And it
was
was
good, and
that
that
one,
was it.
right?
And I
So,
was
I
Yeah.
couldn't
because-
stand the accent like the whole time. Papa?
And
We're going
I
to be
couldn't-
a master of disguise.
Guys,
I was
I'm
so
going to be
excited.
like Papa.
It's like me, Papa.
Like
Oh.
Y'all
Papa. I was
remember
like,
this movie is
stop,
bad though.
stop.
Oh,
Dana Carvey brilliance.
I guess.
Y'all was like legit know the words to that movie, yo. That's
It's just
hilarious.
so bad. Like, it's terrible.
You know what movie will surprise you and you'll know all the words to? And
What?
you've seen it in years?
Hmm.
Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were a lover of all animals, Mr. Ventura.
See? And when was the last time you saw that movie?
Oh,
1994.
God. 20th century, yeah.
But if I put it on, you can probably
You will
quote
watch
the
it.
whole thing.
Wait, when nature
Yeah.
calls is the
When
second
he's
part.
in
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
When he's in the...
Chicago.
Glow.
When he's in, like, what is it, like the hippo? And he gets stuck in there and he has to crawl
And the
out
rhino,
of his
it's a
ass.
rhino.
It's a rhino.
Rhino, my bad. And he has to crawl out of his ass and he's in his underwear and he's all sweaty and people are
Look,
watching
it's
like
like,
he's
mommy,
being
that one's
born.
giving birth.
Oh,
Quinsu Ocha.
Oh, Superman Returns was pretty bad too.
yeah. That was a terrible
whoa.
movie. I was excited for that one.
I actually have a debate against that one.
I was personally excited for that one. And when I saw it, I was like, no.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan in like that sense. But there is a way to win you guys over if you watch it the right way.
Okay.
You first have to watch the old movies.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I did that.
You have to watch 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then you watch Superman Returns.
And it's still bad.
No. Because
the
it puts you in the
Christopher
mindset
Reeves
of
one.
the movies that it's supposed to be. Because we went in thinking, because you remember, Superman Returns came out during these dark superhero movies.
True.
X-Men. We had all the, so we were all pumped to see Superman punching somebody in the face, going through a wall and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, because he's Superman.
But hold on. But you have to remember, he's trying to portray Christopher Reeves Superman.
He was
kind of a badass.
He was trying too hard, though.
Yeah.
He was trying way too hard.
But you gotta understand, it's trying to capture the early 90s.
Yeah.
I know what it was trying to do, but
we're not there. Mentally, though, as an audience, we're not there.
Yeah.
It's like the only way to personally enjoy Superman Returns is turn it off, get Man of Steel, put that in. Because then you can enjoy that shit.
Man of Steel, where Superman just straight lets his dad die for no reason. Biggest plot hole ever.
His dad didn't want to expose him.
No, stop.
Yeah.
Stop nothing. You saw the movie?
He snaps a dude's neck while looking at people like, I have to do this.
Oh, my titty.
Oh, he just gave her a Walter chop right in the titty.
No, I elbowed my titty, you asshole. You can't even apologize. You did elbow my titty.
Oh, it was an elbow. I thought it was like a chop.
That was a great.
Straight elbowed it.
It was a great.
Oh, Judas effect. Ow.
Right in the titty. Ow. I don't even have much, but that still hurt.
X-Men Apocalypse was one that I was excited, and then I watched it, and I was like,
oh man.
The
Phoenix part was kind of cool.
Queen of the Damned was another one.
Oh yeah, I was so excited for that, and I had like
Aaliyah's back must have hurt because she carried that
movie.
Wow.
But yeah, I was just about to say on the low, I had like a big crush on Aaliyah back then too.
Who did
I had to go see.
Who did
it? So fine. Oh my god.
It doesn't even have to be on the low. It doesn't even have to be on the low.
That's not even
okay. It ain't on the low no more. Aaliyah, if I could have stalked you, I would. If you were still alive today, I don't care how old you were or whatever. Like I would do whatever you asked.
Don't pull an R. Kelly, man.
Drink your bath water, and as long as I got a face, you always got a place to sit. Cause goddamn, you were fine. But
Lisa left.
I thought
it was her quietness that made her so hot, yo. Me and her, she was so soft spoken.
She was so soft spoken, but then she had such a great voice and that body.
Yeah.
So fine.
Yes, fine. Lay you down. Fine. Yeah, I know Pablo too. I love that dude.
Girl.
Smooth. You silky. Fine. But yeah, if y'all don't mind, I need a minute. I can't go to therapy because they still closed. So give me a minute. I got to get this out. The movie I was excited for because I had seen them all, and I had seen them all in theaters, and they were so good, and they just built one on top of the other. Like one was better than the other. You're like, holy shit, this is more epic. This is great. This one's better than the last one. Holy fuck. And I was so excited to see this movie. I ran to it. I sat down. I was the first person in the fucking theater. I was ready. I was moving. Even at one point, I had to pee so bad, and I just held that shit. And eventually, I just peed in a fucking soda cup after I drank it because I wasn't moving.
Oh, wow.
Fast and the Furious.
And that movie, no. Fast and the Furious felt like a bite on me because I had a muscle car. I was street racing. All of a sudden, here comes this motherfucker Dom. I'm like, what? But anyway, that movie was Rocky V.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
So bad. So bad. Rocky's broke. Rocky's brain damaged. Rocky gets a protege. Rocky says, fuck my family. The protege betrays him.
I'm sorry. I like to pretend that one never happened.
That one never happened.
I erased it from my memory. That's why I was like.
If it weren't for Rocky Balboa, I'd still have them scars today. Because thank God he came back and he was doing all right and he wasn't so fucked up in the head and he had got a little restaurant and he was helping out other people and he got his fight. And damn it if I wasn't rooting for him against Mason Dixon.
Come on. You have
Mason
to
the Line Dixon.
Mason the Line Dixon.
You have to give it to him when he beat the protege in the alley.
That's true.
That street fight in the alley. Well, especially when
great.
Tommy Gunn knocks him down and he's laying there and then all of a sudden you see Mick in this in like an R and he said, "Get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you." Dun, 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 dun. I was like, "Oh, fuck him up, Rock!"
And he just straight. He almost killed that
part
kid.
was good. The rest,
he almost killed that kid.
That was like the redeeming quality of that.
And he punched Duke too at the end, like, "Sue me for what?" Wow.
Yep.
Like no, the ending was okay. The rest of the movie was just garbage. Like you see Rocky after he's done fighting Drago and he's just shaking and he looks so horrible. You're like, oh
Come
no!
on,
and then you find out he's brain damaged. Then you find out he's fucking broke. It's like what?
Yeah, how does a guy that basically represented America and like
end up that way?
Destroyed his body fighting a dude that was juiced to the gills.
Yep.
Because he was Rocky, man.
He was a juice. Those were special Russian vitamins.
Right.
Right.
That was all flaxseed and the clear and whatever they said Barry Bonds was on.
I will say though,
elk antler.
Creed 2,
moose testicle.
Creed 2 made me feel really bad for Drago.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you know what? When I saw him like that,
he grew up in the hood.
No, when I saw like Ivan Drago, that down and out, I was like, good. Fuck you. Fuck him. He killed Apollo, man. He's the reason Adonis didn't have a dad.
Well, I feel bad when his kid is like talking about his mom and how like the bitch just was like.
I felt bad for the kid.
Out. Like fuck this, you know.
No, I felt bad for the kid, but as far as Ivan was concerned, good. You live in a fucking gutter after what you did, you son of a bitch.
But
you killed Apollo.
Well, you
killed Apollo, number one.
Number
two, you made Rocky brain damage.
Hold on.
Okay?
You got to put it in the mindset. Here's me playing devil's advocate. You got to put
Apollo killed himself.
Ivan was essentially Captain America. With sponsors.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And then he's getting fed all this propaganda. He's getting hoisted up.
True.
And then to be like,
but the difference is
you failed,
and to be thrown to the side like nothing.
That's the thing. We didn't throw
yesterday's jam.
We didn't exactly throw Steve in the gutter when he failed. He was still in Avengers Tower. He was still living a good life.
Steve will never fail. He doesn't have sponsors.
Well, he failed against
Thanos, America.
That's true. He represents you.
He represents America.
He represents.
His sponsor is liberty.
He represents the essence of America.
His sponsor is
America
life,
itself,
liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That's Superman.
And Carl's Jr.
Because if you remember, during the Vietnam War, Steve became the nomad.
But I'm sorry, you don't know how much how weight lifted off my shoulders when I got to talk about Rocky V. Like that just whoo! I feel light. I feel like I could put 6 more beers in and I still wouldn't be weighed down. Like fuck, that was some terrible shit because I was so excited for that because like every movie, like Rocky 1 was amazing, Rocky 2, you were like, oh my god, Adrian's in a coma, like what is he gonna do? He's gonna fight, fuck, he's gonna die, and then the double knockdown, and then 3, and it's like, oh shit, Clover's hungry, like this motherfucker's dead, and then all of a sudden Apollo helps him, and you're like, yay, and then 4 comes in, Apollo's dead, Rocky goes and just gets in a war in this motherfucker's home turf and wins, and you're like, fuck yeah, and 5 comes out, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to see who he's fighting, I can't wait to see what he's gonna do, I can't wait to see where they go from here, and then you see it, and you're like, how do you motherfuckers sleep at night?
Well,
Thank God for Rocky Balboa.
Stallone wrote those. Stallone wrote all of them.
They were brilliant.
So I think what he was
but the thing about 5 was that Stallone had wrote 5, and in the ending, Rocky was going to die in the ring. And the studio didn't want that. Because obviously Rocky was like a big fucking deal. I've seen documentaries on this. Look this up. This is all fact because I love Rocky. Everything I can watch, I watch. He wrote 5, and at the end, Rocky is in a fight with the current champion to get his belt back, and he wins, but he dies in the middle of the ring because he doesn't know he has brain damage. And apparently, after taking so many shots, like he holds the belt up and he collapses at the end of the match, and he dies. and that's how the Rocky saga was supposed to end. And the
But could
studio
you have
said,
handled
"No,
that?
fuck that. You got to do
No.
something different." And then they had somebody come in and help him rewrite it, and then we got that shit.
But Dom, would you have been able to handle that?
No,
God.
I wouldn't have.
That you know how I
Rocky-
said I think it was
Rocky
maybe,
dying like that?
I think it was
wouldn't,
maybe
no.
like first, second episode. I said Optimus Prime probably had like the worst on-screen death of all time. If Rocky 5 ended up that way, he would have taken that mantle from Optimus because I would have been crying like a fucking baby. Like I'd have been proud of him, but I'd have been crying like a fucking baby. I'd have been in the corner for a week underneath a blanket in the fetal position. It didn't happen.
Did you guys notice that a lot of 80s and early 90s cartoons and movies just prepared us to like face death easily?
Land Before Time. Land Before Time is the
All of
reason
them.
why I was
Bambi,
afraid
for
of
fuck's
funerals.
sake. It's like his
I
mom
still
dies in
can't,
what, 10 minutes?
Like I watched a
After
whole
he
bunch
says
of
he
these
loves
growing
her.
up, and I still can't.
Right, like
all
there's
dogs
so,
are
The idea of my
there's
brother
so
going to
many
hamburger
movies,
time, I can't.
cartoons, stuff for kids that like just said, well, get ready because people are gonna die back in the 80s, 90s.
At your happiest moments in life.
Yeah.
And
Cartoons,
that's why,
candy, and
and
death.
that's probably
That was
why
how
there
we
are
were
so
raised.
many people on antidepressants today. I'm just saying.
I'm not. I can agree. When I
I
tell you,
drink.
Cartoon
That's
stuff
how
is
I
like-
cope. But
Littlefoot's mom dying, when I say it crushed me, it changed it altered my timeline in life because I
Right.
like had to hug my mama more and all
Right?
that shit. Then I started
Land
rebelling.
feel
Before
like-
Time also taught you how to handle bad bitches.
It did,
That's true.
and I
That's true.
ate a lot of tree stars that day.
But you know something else that like 90s cartoons had that like they don't really have anymore? That was like thick chicks. Like I don't care if it was G.I. Joe, April O'Neil, and Teenage Mutant. Like they were, when they were drawn, they were all thick. They had like hips and ass. And
Lola Bunny and Space Jam.
Lola Bunny. Yes, exactly. I saw her come out and I was like, how you
I'm
doing?
confused.
It's time for some interspecies beef, baby. What's happening?
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit.
And
Oh,
Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
oh, don't even get me started on
What?
Jessica Rabbit.
I would dabble on watercolors.
Okay.
I would dabble
Okay,
on
so-
Please,
watercolors.
Jessica.
All right, so here's a question:
Okay.
Who's hotter, Lana Kane from Archer or Jessica Rabbit?
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit by
Over
far.
Lana Kane?
Yeah.
Me, yeah.
Yeah.
Lana because in the cartoon,
Did Lana get up in Playboy?
and she also
No.
she can handle you.
Yeah.
Like Jessica Rabbit, you have to play patty cake to get her.
I'm down.
Yeah, I'll play
You
patty cake.
You don't have intercourse with Jessica Rabbit the way
If that's what she considers foreplay, I'm down. Just let's go.
that's not
I
foreplay.
do this
That's-
shit. I did this shit with my
that's
son
sex
for
to them.
years. Okay, I'm a
Patty
master
cake-
at patty cake.
Patty cake is sex to them.
Works for me too.
Yeah.
Just watching
you're
that.
whipping it out. You're gonna whip it out, and she's gonna be like, "What is that?"
Oh, let me show you.
I don't know. No, she's gonna be like,
If you think
"I
patty
don't know what
cake
to
is
do."
good,
I don't have that. I don't have that stuff. They didn't draw that. They didn't draw that.
no, I think she was with. Obviously, she was with Roger because
Yeah, patty cake.
No, he fucks like a rabbit.
Patty cake.
You know what I'm saying? She gotta have it.
No, you guys. Let's set Jessica Rabbit aside for a moment. Cool World, Hollywood.
Oh,
Kim Basinger
World.
and all that, the little stuff.
Uh,
Oh, whew. Yeah, that was good too.
Right,
I
right.
still kind of prefer Jessica, but that was damn close. Like that was.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like back in the '90s, there were so many movies, so many cartoons where the women were like thick. I don't even care. Like go back, watch G.I. Joe, and look at Baroness, and you're like, "Damn, baby, how you doing?"
heavy metal.
Heavy metal. Oh my god.
Yes.
Even
Yes,
The
even-
chick from the cab. She was the first one. Like she was the hottest one to me. And then the one John Candy was like, my doink is out. That's so funny.
But yeah, I mean, there were so many back in the day, and you were just like, "Damn, everybody's
Fritz the
thick."
cat. Even Fritz the cat. Oh my God! Why did that just pop into my head right now? Of all
I
things.
don't know.
Can people even handle Fritz the cat nowadays?
No.
God no.
You ever see that like on Cartoon
I don't know,
Network
that's a
or
good
any of that
question.
shit? You ever see it on like any streaming service anywhere ever?
Yeah. I watched it, and it's not on stream. We have it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can get it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they put a lot of this stuff on, like, streaming services, but you never see Fritz the Cat.
My dad had it on VHS in the box of things the kids.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you got it on like VHS, DVD, you can watch it. If you're looking for it on like a streaming service, good luck.
You're not gonna find it.
Because nobody can handle it these days. That's the thing. Oh man, yeah, but I feel so much lighter now that I got that Rocky V shit off my chest. Just I'm ready. Like
anything else you want to get off your chest?
Not really. No. Outside of that, I'm good. Like I feel like a new man. I probably need a new beer, but I feel like a new man.
Your heart has been lightened,
right? Like I feel like I'm 10 years younger. Like I'm 5 pounds lighter. You know.
Can I say the one movie I had the opposite for? Saw the trailer, and with every second, like my hopes just kept tanking down and down. Like I went into it with no hope, and then it just went further down and down. Was the reboot of RoboCop?
Yeah.
Oh, bye.
Just thinking about it makes me angry because the original RoboCop is legitimately my all-time favorite movie. You can ask.
I love RoboCop.
How many copies of that movie did you find in this apartment?
I have all of the original RoboCops, and then I have the RoboCop Prime Directive miniseries.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
you sad.
Like all of them. That's how much I love RoboCop. Was like, they made a series.
No.
It was horrible, but I watched it.
I have the movies, right? I have like several DVD copies of the original. I have the box set of the trilogy. I have action figures. I have a T-shirt. I have all kinds of RoboCop shit. Like, this is how much I love RoboCop. I legitimately
I'd buy any of that for $1.
A RoboCop tattoo. Like, I fucking love this movie. But the remake made me so angry,
mad,
livid. I was
like,
we were in the movie.
Here's an idea. Like, what if we take RoboCop and we turn him into an anorexic? What?
I was like, what is this garbage? It made me angry.
Blasphemy.
Rage. It was heresy.
Heresy.
I don't feel better discussing it. Moving on.
Okay, yeah, we better, because I'm gonna get mad.
Moving on.
Oh my God, but yeah. Oh, I almost forgot to ask the couple at the top. Do you have anything to add on the worst date front, or was that just
I don't think I've ever had the worst. I don't think I've had a bad date, to be honest.
You're lucky.
Aww.
You're lucky. Like, I had several.
I
had so many bad dates. I just stopped dating and started hooking up. Like, that's it. Never mind.
But then again, like I've said
back
before,
in the day, it wasn't Netflix, but it'd be like VHS and chill. I went to Blockbuster.
I go into things without expectations, so bad things don't happen.
No,
I've had so many bad dates.
Right.
I've had so many bad dates. I switched to food porn. Like, I don't even want to see people do it anymore. I'm like,
seriously.
No.
By the time Kathy got to me, by the time Kathy got to me, I had so many bad dates. I was just like, okay, this is gonna go horrible. Oh, it's not going horrible. Well, I'm not trying to get serious. All right, we're serious. Well, I'm not trying to get married. Oh, fuck, are we married? Well, I'm not trying to have kids. Wait, are you pregnant? Fuck, how did this happen?
This was gonna go wrong. How we were in the grave together.
Like, the whole time, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop for like years, And it never did. And I was like, wait a minute, what? Like, did all these bad dates just give me like a coupon from God or something?
Yeah, I can't think of a bad one. I've had like weird hangouts with people, but never bad dates or anything like that.
Man,
so lucky. Well, I guess I've had all of them. I don't know. I've as a guy, especially as somebody who's considered always been friend zoned a lot of them go bad for the intent of like, it's not anything went wrong. It went bad because it's like, hey, I'm like, you be hoping like they'll make the move or something like that, or you be hoping like, okay, like,
no, the worst
really
ones,
nice, yeah.
The worst ones. I don't know if you've had this before, but the worst ones are the ones that stick you in a friend zone and then get all psycho when you start dating somebody.
Exactly.
And it's like, yo, you put me here. What the fuck?
To me.
Like,
I'll be honest, that never made sense to me. Like, you said no to him, so why?
Right.
invested in him like this.
Right,
It
like
doesn't
I
make
had,
sense to me.
and
Just let it go.
again,
It's an
I
ego
can't name
thing.
names,
They're
but
stupid.
I had a girl when I was growing up. She lived in my neighborhood, like right across the way, and I was obsessed. I was like, I'm gonna get that. And eventually, she was just like, well, no, we're just friends. I couldn't. I wouldn't want to damage the friendship. I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. And I was still her friend. Like, I wasn't a dick about it or nothing. It was just like, okay, we're still gonna hang out because we live in the same neighborhood. Like, our families know each other, whatever. And then, I want to say I might have been 16 because we like grew up in the same neighborhood. I'm like 16. I got a car. I'm dating somebody, and I'm sorry. I'm 17 because by now I got the Mustang, and it's a nice car, like drop top Mustang. You know, sweet, pimped out. Just, love that car. And I'm dating somebody, and I come home from a date. I park my car, lock it up, go up in my bed, you know, get some sleep. I hear something like middle of the night, and I wake up. I look out my window from the second floor, and I see this bitch who lives across the street, and she's pouring like baking soda and water on my convertible top, knifing my tires, screaming. I come around, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, I can't believe you're dating that bitch. What the fuck is your problem? I'm like, wait, didn't you tell me you didn't want to fuck up the friendship? Now you're out here fucking up my car. Like, I will kill you.
That's crazy shit right there. That's
I've
not
never,
that's just crazy.
and I didn't, and I've
bullshit.
never laid my hands on a woman in life. But if there was ever a
Check a
moment,
bitch out.
if there was ever a moment where I was tempted, it was that moment.
That one right there.
Fuck, that car was the shit. Yeah. It was my godfather's, and like he would just break it out in the summer from the garage and drive it around a little bit and then park it. And when he passed away, he left it to me, and I fixed it all up and like painted it Eagles colors because we used to go to the vet together and all that. So it was my uncle, my godfather's car that he left to me in his will, and she's out there fucking it up. I was like, I will kill you right now.
I'm a murderer.
Dang.
Oh, I'm mad all over again. There goes that happy feeling.
It never makes sense to me. And okay, if we put it an ego thing. Now, my ego's fucking stupid, ridiculous, or whatever. But I'm not gonna be crazy enough to be like, well, you had a crush on me, now you can't date anybody. That's just, go make your life, girl. Like you're making your own life. Let him do it. Who gives a fuck?
So here's even worse. I've had at least 3 that I've dated leave me or you know talk to or whatever you want to call that category where you're like right before they hit the stop button, end up dating and or having a baby by the next version of me, same shirt and everything.
Right? You're like, you know who's more like me? Me.
Yeah.
You're dating the bootleg me, huh?
I mean,
you went
straight
the clone.
I'm
the original.
I had that happen one time, and I was confused. I was like, "Did I get like abducted by aliens and switch bodies or some shit?" Like,
right? I'm like, wait a minute.
Literally dated me.
She broke up with me. Now she's dating a dude who listens to hip hop, drives a Mustang. Where's Jenko? She's dating me. Like, what the fuck?
I was gonna say she broke up with me, and now she's dating me.
Me? Mm-hmm. That's fucked up.
You know what's crazy? One of them had the same name as me.
Oh, that's just weird, bro. That's just weird.
The closest I got.
And I'm gonna send y'all the picture. I gotta find this dude. I'm gonna send you the picture so y'all can compare it. You be like, what the fuck?
Maybe
the closest thing I had. One of my ex-girlfriends walked up with somebody who looked, dressed, acted just like me, and she was like, "Hey, this is Tom." Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yo, didn't we have a friend who did that? She was dating one dude, and then she started dating another guy with the exact same name, right? Had the exact same name, but he was like the great value version of her ex.
That's what I had. It was the same thing. Weird. It was crazy. I was like, what? How is this really happening?
Bizarre. We were like, what the hell?
Yeah, same thing. I'm like, what the fuck? This dude is me. Like, dressed the same, drives the same car, talks the same. You know, like you're dating me and you don't know it. No, he's so different. No, he really isn't.
Nope.
He's not even close to different. He's the opposite of different. Oh, you know, he's just such a good man. Yeah, I know. He's me.
I know I'm a good man. Thanks.
And this is how I got to be, in between, like just saying, nah, I'm just gonna fuck around. Like before Canada, nah, I'm just gonna fuck around. Because it was just this bullshit, like women chewing chaw, like breaking up with me and then dating somebody just like me. Like,
it's weird,
Yeah,
Joe.
Bad luck with them ladies. But
You know what it's like?
It's like my daddy always said, bitches are crazy, honey.
Yeah.
hump them and dump them. That's what I was doing.
Daddy always told me, if you're gonna go full lesbian, remember, baby.
We're talking about all
Crazy.
this shit, and in the midst, I get a text from a friend of mine who says, "So, I've got a date coming up. I met a girl on a dating site, and we're actually meeting. Here's the question: how the fuck do I date right now?" I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, he's like, we got a virus, we've got all this shit popping off. Like, how the hell do I date? I'm like,
on Skype.
Well, yeah. Well, either that or you go back to the gun
FaceTime
theory,
each other.
and you put on a body condom and you go to the date.
Stay 6 inches apart instead of 6 feet.
If you're wearing a body condom, you can be as close as you want because you got
glory hole,
head to toe protection. You remember the original Naked Gun with like Leslie Nielsen and what's her name? Elvis Presley's ex-wife, Priscilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember the sex scene where they talked about practicing safe sex and then they put on that body condom and they started like rubbing it. That's how you
also
date.
had OJ in it, by the way.
It did. OJ was in all of the Naked Guns.
The common thread.
Like back to that, like there's one, to me, that's one of the funniest scenes in movie history is when he goes and puts this big ass gun together and he just keeps adding parts.
He keeps adding pieces
till it turns into a tank.
Yes.
One of my favorite moments in movie history, yo.
I love all those movies.
Even that, like when they do the flashback scene and OJ walks in with the afro and he can't get in the door, he's just
oh yeah.
And he has to like turn sideways.
Leslie Nielsen's funny though. Like I love them in Airplane.
Oh no, Leslie Nielsen's hilarious.
That was his very first comedy movie, by the way.
Yes, he used to be a dramatic actor. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ask Jose how he feels about Leslie Nielsen.
Uh-oh.
Jose?
He feels so bad he won't even show up in the
paying
shot.
attention to us, Jose.
Yeah, Jose.
We're discussing Leslie Nielsen's brilliance and genius.
Nah.
Look at this face. Look at this mug.
He does not look happy.
I had been with Jose for 12, 13 years until I found out he did not like Leslie Nielsen.
It's not that I don't like Leslie Nielsen.
Sir.
Not that I don't like Leslie Nielsen.
That's not what you said.
I just don't find.
Oh no, we're gonna have a couple fight right here.
The Naked Gun movies are hysterical.
No.
They really are though.
Right?
Wow.
Yep.
What happened to your childhood, man? Whoa.
Who hurt you?
His mom.
Who hurt you?
His mom.
Look, the whole thing is that when I was a kid, a lot of one of the movies that kept repeating a lot in the household was Naked movies. So it's just kind of got burned out. Like,
okay.
Well,
Okay, I get that.
Giants like a fuck ton for 3 years, and I never grew tired.
No, it's like I understand that because my dad used to watch
Little
that.
Giants.
My dad used to watch that
I
old.
can't see with this thing on.
My dad used to watch that old sci-fi movie, The Last Starfighter, like repeatedly every day.
Whoa! Don't disrespect
Every
that.
fucking
That
week.
movie's a great movie.
Yeah, but when you see it like every day, every week for like 5 years,
my best friend in high school,
you're done with it.
Armageddon every day after work, and there was a year where I spent like every day after school at her house, and we would come, and her dad would be watching Armageddon, and then we would get real shitty with it, and I'd be like, "Oh my God, is this the time that Bruce Willis lives?" And she'd be like, "Oh my God, I hope so. We should stick around and see." And we would just say real snarky shit like that, and he'd be like, "You two need to leave the fucking room."
Oh my God! Yeah, no, I'm right there. Like we used to do the same thing.
We'd
While
be like, "Does Ben Affleck die this time?"
You know what's
the
another
same
movie that I haven't seen in a long time because it was played out? It was because I had a pair of roommates that would play it all the time.
Oh fuck!
Was it
Harold and Kumar.
Day Off.
Who's in it?
Super Troopers.
Bueller's Day Off.
Bueller's Day Off.
Oh.
Oh no,
yeah,
Ferris.
I love
Ferris
that.
Oh,
Bueller's
wow.
Day Off.
Ferris
Yeah.
Bueller's Day Off. Yeah. No, I
They
love that
constantly played that movie. And
yeah, it's not like it's a bad movie when you see it all day, every day,
every day, yeah.
for like
We had a roommate who watched
months,
Scarface.
years. You're like, fuck it, I'm done. Like, I will never watch
Uh.
The Last Starfighter again, and I like that movie, but it just got played the fuck out my whole childhood. I was like, oh my god, moving on, never
How
again.
come Rocky don't get played out though?
Because I
Because
don't
it's
watch
Rocky,
it like,
you don't disrespect.
yeah, that,
He's
and I
not
don't watch
torturing
it.
himself.
I
He's
don't
not
watch it like
locking himself
every
in-
day. You know,
Oh, that's true.
I
That's
might
true.
have a marathon here and there, but I don't watch it every day. I'm like,
I-
oh, 4th of July, we got to celebrate our independence with Rocky.
Thanksgiving and
You know,
New Year.
Thanksgiving, we're thankful for Rocky. You know, not every day.
Every day we watch Don't Be a Menace to South Central Rodriguez.
Oh my
that
god,
movie.
yeah.
What do you say when you
and
meet a
have
nice
bait.
man? Are you
Are
my
you my
daddy?
Daddy.
Do
And Half
we
Baked. Half
have
Baked was
a
the other one.
problem here?
Here. Oh, these
No.
movies all have a strong black
Yeah,
woman, and I'm just not her.
You know the best one. Oh wait, hold on. Come here, my queen, my milk of magnesia.
My
No,
milk of
my favorite
magnesia.
part about that part is when he's like, "Excuse me, my Nubian queen.
Can you
Can I-
tap
can
that
I
white
ask
girl
you a
on the
favor?
shoulder?
Can I ask you a
Your
favor?
favorite.
Can you tap that tall glass of milk of magnesia to come over here?" I died. I died.
was dead, yo. Oh, she was hysterical.
But
oh my
in the Wayne genre, I'm gonna get you, sucker is the best one.
Oh,
yes, by far.
the Wayne's
That's a
definitely,
classic.
Yeah.
That whole ass movie, that's just a classic.
Hey,
You know,
yo,
when that
breaks his
just
pimp
that
shoes
part where
and the
Isaac
goldfish.
Hayes pulling all those guns out, yo. Oh,
Let's
man.
oh
never
my
have it
god,
too
that's
much,
so
brother.
good. Like, I can't even start with quotes because I'll go all night.
And
But
by the way, they also gave us the first black superhero.
Yeah.
yes, they did.
they did.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know if it was the first.
Meteor Man.
Meteor Man, and I watched that in the movie theater.
Oh, I
And
thought you
enjoyed
were. I thought you were talking about Blank Man for a minute.
Blank
Yeah, I was thinking
Man.
about Blank
No,
Man
no,
too. I
Blank
was
Man
like, what's Blank
technically
Man?
is.
Because I was
but
gonna say Meteor Man came
was
first, and then Blank Man, but
Then
I didn't
Blank
know the Wayans had done both. So my bad.
Yes.
You
But-
brought the noon shucks.
or every time Robin Gibbons would touch him, he just. What's
Okay,
happening?
okay, hang on.
Meteor Man, what was it?
Hang on.
What was it? Whistle? A whistle? Golden Lord shoves a whistle up a man's ass.
Hey, I'm gonna give you guys an exclusive confession, yo.
Uh-oh.
Ever since I've seen Blake Man, if I
Confess yourself,
really
my
like a
son.
girl and they like and I get close to like kissing them or something like that, I always had like those weird jerks. I've watched that movie
Yo,
so many times.
I
That
did that
shit's
with
habit.
I did that with Kathy on our first date. Like, randomly, we were like eating dinner, and she was sitting next to me, and she turned and she kissed me on the cheek, and as soon as she did, I was like,
Yeah, I just do it out of
And-
habit, yo.
and she started laughing her ass off because she had seen that movie. She's like, "Oh my god, that's so funny!" I was like, "Okay, you might be the one."
I like. I don't know why. It's always just something I do.
to me. Yeah.
It's just fucking funny, yo. Cause I'm like, you know, even if it's my last date, just to see her face, like, yo, what the fuck? That shit's hilarious to me, yo.
Oh my god, we might have to see her thing. I do. Meteor Man is good, but Blank Man, I laugh my ass off at. Just
yeah.
the whole
Hey,
time.
that's kind of an underrated cult movie, yo.
It really is. It's so
It is.
stupid, but it's so funny.
Yeah.
Blank Man?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
cult classic to some people.
It right here.
Yeah.
I have that shit on Blu-ray. That's how cult classic it is. To
Yeah.
me.
That's an underrated
I'm like, holy
movie.
shit, Blank Man on Blu-ray. I must own this.
And it had just enough 90s in it. You know, it was very 90s.
Just enough. Just enough. Robin Gibbons was even tolerable, which is not something you can typically say. Ask Mike Tyson.
Oh,
Snap.
We all know that was that man's first loss. Like, Robin took his soul.
You could tell she was a succubus too.
You could just tell, just the look on her face, like on a daily.
Goddamn succubus.
She's a fucking succubus, man.
R.I.P. Isaac Hayes, man. That shit's hilarious.
Some say Mike got that tattoo on his face to replace his soul.
Yeah.
Thing's classic though.
Oh,
You know what's a sleeper, and not a lot of people give love to. Leroy Brown, The Last Dragon.
Yeah.
Well, it's not Leroy Brown.
It's not Leroy though.
It's Leroy Green.
It's Bruce Leroy.
Bruce Leroy, but
Bruce
it was
Leroy.
Green was their
Bruce
real last
Leroy.
name.
Green, yeah.
And show enough.
Show enough. You know, when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I thought that was Busta Rhymes.
Oh my God, me too.
Wow.
I remember first Busta Rhymes video. I'm sitting there with my buddy smoking weed after school.
With a
And
party
this
with
video
me.
came on, and I'm high as hell. I'm like, wait a minute, is that
He's still
Show
alive?
That motherfucker look good. He got
Dang.
swole. It was crazy. It was.
And it had the hottest chick ever.
Vanity.
Vanity.
That and her in that and Action Jackson, I watched just like who.
It was a confusing childhood for Grandma Wendy.
You get to see some flat-chested Vanity and Action Jackson. It's like, oh,
No, she won't flat. She won't flat.
she was kind of
It
little.
wasn't flat.
It wasn't a lot, but it was enough.
She was all you needed.
She was one of them.
Yeah.
She was one of them. Anything more than a mouthful is a waste kind of gals. You know
And
what
you
I'm
know
saying?
what's crazy? Her being on heroin just made it hotter.
Didn't give a fuck. I was like, I'll still hit it.
I was like, oh, damn right.
I was like, damn, Coach is giving her drugs and hitting it. Wow.
I love heroin. Heroin's great, kids.
It's like 80s titties though.
She had 80s titties.
She did.
Yeah, we just pulled her up. She had 80s titties.
She had-
All
Yo,
right?
I don't know. We looked her
Just
up.
the right size, and it
Kathy and I
wasn't
looked
the
her
era
up like
of
a
like
few
big
years
old
ago.
babies.
You know, back then it
she
was
was
like
slim.
hair shit.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yes,
Kathy and I
beautiful
looked her
hairs.
up a couple years ago because she had never seen Action Jackson. So I played it, and she was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Vanity." And she went and Googled her, and this was a few years ago. And when she saw recent photos, she was like, "Damn, she's still hot." And I was like,
well,
"Yeah, she is."
She was R.I.P. But yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't even know she died. That's terrible.
Yeah, she died a month after Prince, yo.
Yeah.
Oh, of a broken
that's
heart.
Right.
Yeah.
He would have given her diamonds and pearls.
I'm sure he gave her a pearl necklace at least twice.
Mm-hmm. That also reminds me. Do you
know
think
who
Prince
is still good
Do you
looking?
think Prince would like pop out his own lyrics
I
right
still
before
do.
he's getting ready to get it on?
Jackie Brown.
I know you're chubby now, but
Pam
I
Grier.
will still.
Pam
Oh,
Grier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm like
okay.
Googling her as we talk.
She may be one of the hottest women
All
in
in
history
here.
for real.
Yes.
for real.
Oh,
Like,
come on.
no
She
lie.
did those prison movies.
Yeah.
Oh, all those, yeah, all those sexploitation films.
Yeah.
It was a confusing childhood for Grandma Wendy.
There was no confusion
And
in the psycho's
Ivory.
house. It was just, that's hot. I like girls. That's some shit right
100%
there.
natural too.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. We're looking at pictures of her.
I remember it was like first grade, and some guidance counselor asked me what I wanted to do when I grew up, and I said marry Foxy Brown.
What
Yeah.
did you do when you grew up, Pam Grier?
Right there. That's what I'm gonna do.
And yet she let Richard Pryor smash. Like, what the
Right.
world?
Right.
Hey,
Shout
sometimes
out
that's
to
all you
Richard
need to be. You
Pryor.
just need to be funny.
Yeah. Some women, you just got to have that wit, that humor, and you're in there. And
Who else
Pryor
did she
had that
date?
shit in spades. You know,
Didn't she
like,
date Kareem Abdul-Jabbar too?
That is a solid question. Let's find
Look,
out.
don't remember.
I think so.
Maybe Wilt Chamberlain hit it. I don't know. He
I
hit
don't
so
care.
many chicks back in the
I
day.
don't
She might have
care
been in the
about the
list.
fallen that tried to climb Olympus. I care about my journey.
Right.
Oh,
It does
Damn,
not
that was
matter who came
poetic.
before me.
Whoa,
All that
I don't know
matters
who
is that I come.
came first. Depending on who the baby is, who the baby belongs to, it matters then.
Yeah,
How-
it matters.
how can you
Then we
not?
can go on Maury and figure that shit out.
List of Pam Grier's partners. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from 69 to 71. She was Freddie Prinze from 75.
Oh, that's right.
Richard Pryor, 76 to 77, and Kevin
Aaron Johnson,
97 to 99.
Damn.
Who was the last
Damn,
one?
my people were already there.
Shout out to them, by the way. I don't care.
1 star right in there.
I still do it. I'm
She
down
had a
with
lot
that.
Look at that. Puerto Rican All-Star, baby.
Oh, no.
Yo,
Puerto Rican
so
All-Star.
wait. So she had the #1 all-time scorer in NBA history.
Mhm.
Probably
And
hands down
maybe
the
the
funniest
greatest
man,
comedian in
Yeah.
history.
as well as one of the most pioneering Spanish actors.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
There you go. Can we see? There you go. Freddie Prinze. Look at that quad.
Freddie.
Mhm.
Senior. Freddie Senior. Not Junior.
Yes. No,
Not
no.
I know what you did last summer and all that goofy
Senior.
shit.
And now he does voice acting. He's a Star Wars voice actor.
Right? No,
Oh,
Freddie
he
Prinze
is?
Jr. Wrote for WWE for a while,
Yeah,
too,
he did.
didn't he? He was.
he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have.
Because he's
My
like,
dad.
he's an undercover nerd. Like,
Yep. He undercover loves wrestling.
And isn't he like 6'5"?
And he in public loved Pam. So
No, he's 6'1", actually.
Oh, 6'1". Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I thought he
Freddie
was much
Prinze
taller.
Jr.
Freddie Prinze Jr. Ugh.
That's such a cool name, yo.
It's such a cool
Yeah,
name.
Freddie Prinze Jr. was indeed a former writer, is a former writer for the WWE.
I mean,
Wow.
am I wrong, or does Freddie Prinze Jr. act whiter than me?
no, because his mom's white.
That's true.
And his dad died when he was young.
Okay.
I guess that gives him all the opportunity to be white, huh?
So his Kellogg came out, you know. If this were the
Well, I
Fresh
mean, to
Prince,
be
he'd be
fair-
cornflake.
To be fair, though, like, I act whiter, and I'm, like, super lily white. If you look at all the neighborhoods I grew up in, lily white. I mean, come on. Alamo Heights in San Antonio, the whitest. Vienna, Virginia, the whitest.
Dang,
Yeah.
yeah. Vienna
Can we just
sausage.
say, though,
Virginia.
we're all sitting back
I am
drooling about,
the
like,
whitest.
we're all sitting back drooling about, like, Pam Grier to Leah and all this shit. And not one time did anybody call out race. Not once. I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah.
you talking
Now
about
that
Leah
you
for, white boy?
mention Well, now that you mention it. Oh, here we go. Okay. Freddie Prinze Jr. worked for the WWE from 2008 to 2009, and then he came back from 2010 to 2012.
Those were all good years for WWE.
Yeah, they were.
Really? They were.
Uh-oh, is he
Maybe
the
they need
key?
to bring him back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could work.
You know who they should bring back now that he has more experience? What's his name? The other dude from I can't believe I know what you did last summer.
Matthew Lillard?
No, he's a wrestler now in bar
David
wrestling.
Arquette?
Oh, yeah, David Arquette.
Yo, he can actually wrestle now.
He
Like
can.
back in the
He
day,
can.
no, but now
But now,
he's actually pretty damn good.
yes.
He's a little old, but he's good.
But he's in better shape than all of us put together, so I don't say nothing.
Hey, I don't know. You know, I take this shirt off. You might, you know.
You
The
only
only
like day
shape I'm
5
in
of the
is out
oldest
of
challenge. Quit, Jake. Quit that.
He's like he's feeling after like you get a good set in. I'm swole. I don't have to come back.
Eat cake.
That's me after one day in the gym. I'm like, oh, I hit that treadmill hard for 10 minutes. I'll see you in a month.
I think I just lost 5 sizes after that 10 minutes on the treadmill. I'm done.
Yup. I feel mighty good about myself.
Oh yeah, that's my wife too. She's like, 10 minutes on the treadmill and everything feels tight. I was like, okay, give it 15 minutes and it's gonna loosen right up. Like you think
I
these
don't bitch
people,
about that. Like,
you think these
I'm
people get
shaped
looking
like-
like they look on fit after 10 minutes on a fucking treadmill?
If it only was that easy.
Seriously.
Right? Everybody do it.
But you know what? I may be shaped like Winnie the Pooh, but that's okay. I'm feeling my oats. I'm all about it. Somebody out here loves it still, so you know.
See, that's the thing is like, you can be shaped however you want to be shaped. At least, if you got that confidence or whatever, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I go out there rubbing my fat belly like, what's up, bitches? Y'all want this? Y'all want this?
You just walk out like, I am sexy. You see that look she got on her face when I said that? She was,
Yep.
She like
I
pumped
got
her
there like
lips
Princess
out,
Nokia
everything.
with my big belly. What?
How you doing?
How many times have I rolled up to pick you up listening to that song, Jose? All loud and shit. Too many times.
Too many times.
Several. But yeah, oh my God.
It's getting warm in here. Oof.
That's because we were talking about Pam Grier. That's
2 beers later. 2 beers later. There we go.
Sophia Loren was another one.
Oh, Sophia.
Yes. Oh my God. And any day, all day, Sophia Loren.
You know how many times I watched Grumpy Old Men?
You, me both. I was so jealous of Walter Matthau in that little field by the lake when they were catching worms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maria.
I fell in love with a girl named Maria, and suddenly I see
she's not the bitch I thought
she'd be. Maria.
Yo, but you know who the real pimp was? His dad, dude.
Oh no, that was the other one, Jack Lemmon's dad.
Yeah.
Just finishing breakfast.
How about I show you my man-sized manicotti?
Oh.
That's why not.
You mount the woman, son. Send it to me.
Oh, that whole ass.
Dad,
Marcus
we
Meredith, again.
gotta take him to the doctor. She swallowed a quarter. Kids swallow quarters all the time.
If she craps two
dimes
dimes
and
and a nickel,
then
then you got a problem. Marcus Meredith, I'm telling you, between Mickey and that role, and the Penguin back in the day, or the original Batman series.
Oh yeah.
And then, when he
Legend.
was in Twilight Zone, he was the blind guy in Twilight Zone.
Yep, the blind guy in the Twilight Zone.
We have the old World War
He
II.
was even in what was that movie?
Hey, if you guys want to see
the original
something messed
Titans
up,
movie back in the day.
Yeah, yep, that's right.
even in
Remember
if you want to
Titans?
see, he was. If you want
Clash
to see
of the Titans.
Clash
I
of
think
Titans.
it's on YouTube, but it's 1940s Batman. It's basically World War II propaganda against Asians.
So
You're like, what the hell?
and what am I watching and why?
But just the old Batman. One of the few things I remember is Burgess Meredith as the Penguin with the big thing and the cigarette, like the cigarette holder in his mouth.
I remember back in the day they used to play it when you got off school on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Cartoons came on, Batman would come on, and I'd watch the shit out of that.
I used to sneak downstairs.
It was on
I used to
Fox.
sneak downstairs when my parents went to sleep because Nick at Night would play it at like 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I would sneak downstairs. I'd turn on the TV. I'd sit like right next to the little speaker in the front, and I'd just turn the volume up a little bit, and I'd sit there and watch Batman and listen to it real close so that they wouldn't hear it and come beat my ass. I was like, I'll take this ass whooping. I got to see it.
I watched Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh my God, yeah.
That wasn't a bad show, though. Like, I didn't love it, but yeah. I still
And Gilligan's
watched it.
Island.
Gilligan's Island, y'all.
But that's because
Okay.
they had
Can
two
we
ladies on there.
Can we all agree that
Yeah.
Marianne was hotter than Ginger?
No.
No.
Come on, with the farmer's daughter outfit, like the little
Dude,
Daisy
you had to
Duke.
teach Marianne. Ginger already knew what to do.
Ginger knew what time
Yeah,
it
but
was.
Ginger was a diva. Like, she didn't know shit. All she knew was
Yo,
like,
she knew.
where's the
She-
light? Get my good side.
No,
You know, like
no.
she was a Hollywood
There's a reason
star.
the professor
She
was
was not-
inventing. And
If
he
she
was
was
late on some
now,
good
if
invention.
she was an adult film star, then she would have known. But she's a Hollywood actress. Like, all she knows is like, where's my light? Marker.
Oh my God.
Marianne, on the other hand, she studied
That
shit.
Ginger.
She knows.
Ooh.
Oh, Ginger.
Mhm.
We're looking at pictures of Ginger right
I mean,
now.
they're both hot, but I'll take Marianne. That's all.
Hold on. We're going to pull up to Marianne.
Oh yeah.
Marianne. Oh, Marianne looks so like naive.
Yeah, she
Well,
looked
you're gonna have
naive.
to teach her what's what and who's who.
Are you kidding? All that
And what
research
goes
that
where.
she did, she knows some stuff. That's all.
Oh, man. She doesn't look like she knows a damn thing.
She doesn't look it, but
Hey, take it from a lady. Take it, not really a lady. Take it from me.
Oh, I was gonna say, since when you've
Okay.
been a lady?
You laugh so politely, Aaron, but sure. He's to know what's up.
He's been on shows with you
lady.
too. He knows.
Come on.
still
Come
remember-
on. Look at this.
I gotta find the episode of Top.
Marianne or Ginger. Come on. Come on. Ginger all the way.
Ginger all the
Yeah,
way.
You know she got a little spice to her.
Ginger.
She
all
does.
She got that kick.
I mean, you know, if we're talking three-way, that's the dream. But
Oh,
if I had to pick one, Marianne.
oh, how can you say no to that? Oh.
Easy. Where Marianne at? No, I gotta go. I can't remember what episode it was, but I just remember there was a night that Wendy like blew our co-host mind on Top Rope Wrestling Talk because she just started saying all this outlandish stuff, and like I had heard it, but he hadn't. And then the next thing you know, she's got a beer and she had her nails done, so she grabs a fork and she's like pops the beer open, and he's just got this perplexed look. He's like, "Did you just open a beer with a fucking fork?"
Learned, babe.
And she's like, and she just looks at him and goes, "Yeah, because I'm such a fucking lady. Go, go, go,
I
go,
was
go."
like, I think I was drinking like Tall Boys that
And
day.
his whole, it was like PBR Tall Boys, and she's chugging it, and the whole time he just looks so perplexed down in the bottom corner.
Like,
He's
who
like,
is this?
it's like, I don't know you anymore. I was like, I do.
Like the real me was coming out, like the one that has
And he
been
was
known
so,
for 15 years.
like he knows now, but it was the first time he ever saw it, and he was so.
It's the first time he'd seen me like that.
The face.
Poor Brucey was like, just so you know, I'm not much of a lady. I'm more of a bro.
Cool story, bro.
Is it getting to be that time, babe? Bedtime.
Yeah, we're getting deep, and it's
getting to be
getting to
that time.
definitely be that time. And oh man, I don't know how this turned out, but it was a fun show to do. That's for damn.
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely.
And we
We went down some rabbit holes.
we really did. We went
Yeah.
off.
I think
I had-
we've all healed today.
I think I picked out like I think I got like 2 maybe planned topics in, and then the rest was just all
What's
right,
the other
derail.
topic? One more topic.
One more time. He's put me on the spot now. Man, I'm looking. Let's see. Oh God, you know how we were talking about like movies that you just played out of? Is there an alcohol that you drank so much of that you just can't fuck with no more? Like whether you got sick or you just got tired of it or something like. Is there like a certain alcohol?
I would normally
say
Hennessy, but I just
ready?
drank it.
Hold on. Look at Natty. Look at Natty and all.
Oh,
All right, enough distractions.
Yeah, really.
Sickness is my sickness.
I think I might have mentioned this here before, but there's just so many stories about it. Like back in the day, like there were all these people around me that drank Goldschlager, and being broke,
man, all the
you just
bitches
drink
love
whatever's
Goldschlager.
there. Yeah, like even my ex-girlfriend and I, like we were up in my room one day. She brought over a bottle of Goldschlager. We're just drinking it, and after we got wasted a little bit, I tried to do like the flaming shot and knock one over and like lit my dresser on fire. Like it was bad, but so much of it, like for a couple of years, after a while, I was like, I can't even smell it. I smell it, I start getting like sick. I can feel my stomach go. I'm like, go on with that. I hope they stop making it, cause like, ew.
Oh no, it's still around. It's still
Not to
around.
mention, if you drink enough of that, and eventually, like somewhere a day or two later, like you sit down, handle your business, you drop a deuce, you look at it, and the gold flake that was in the Goldschlager is actually in the damn turd. Like, nah, I don't need to make my doo-doo twinkle. I'm done.
When you look at it before you flushed, you go, twinkle, twinkle.
Twinkle, little turd.
Little turd.
You're so
Oh,
nasty,
man.
that's my word. You know?
No, for me, it's Ice 101. Peppermint schnapps.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I can't do none of that pepper. I can't do schnapps, period.
Used to use that Ice 101 as mouthwash. I'd wake up hungover real quick. Oh, ready for work.
Hey, they can't tell. They can't tell.
Nigga,
Old
pepperminty,
Crow.
they think I'm fine.
I don't know if you ever drank it, but because it's terrible. But Old Crow.
You
is
mean
another one.
engine cleaner?
Yes. If you ever, I was just about to say, if you've ever drank Old Crow, then you know what it's like to get like your grandma's Aquanet back in the day and spray it directly in your mouth. Just.
we dropped some of that stuff on a wood panel, and it took the paint off of it.
What the?
Yeah.
You're drinking paint thinner.
It was a shot special at a bar called Dirty Frank's up in Philly, which I don't know.
Yeah, they're trying to kill you, is what they're.
And so, you know, being off work and, you know, the weekend and kind of waiting for that check to get in the bank, we didn't have a lot of money. So me and my buddies were all ordering Old Crow, and I went to grab my shot, and I guess the shot glass they gave me was like wet, so it slipped right out of my hand and hit the table. And the wooden table in front of us started to, like, you could see the finish peeling. And they're like, "Oh, do you want me to get another shot?" And I'm like,
no, I'm not trying to die.
Yeah, why not?
but you know,
I had already had 4 of them bitches. I was like, I'm dead anyway.
you know that's how you know someone has hit the struggle. When they've had Old Crow.
When you've been drinking Old Crow, and that me right here, I'm not gonna lie. Back in the day, yeah. It was a struggle. It was an everyday struggle. Not even gonna lie. Some people had silver spoons. I had a plastic Arby's spoon. It was that bad.
So wait, that's the last.
It was a spork.
Is alcohol that you're tired of?
Yeah, like alcohol that like either you had and it might have been one time or it might have been like a duration. And after a while, you're just like, I can't fuck with this no more. Like, it's like just
I don't have any, really. I mean, like say Hennessy, maybe, but, you know.
Yeah. Maybe, I think you drink enough Hennessy and eventually you're like, I can't fuck with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's about the only one. Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. Like, I'll drink it mixed, but with like, what is it? With Palo Viejo Bacardi.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we drink it in Puerto Rico. We'll mix it with rum, but because we're alcoholics.
Yeah.
But
he said it, not me.
But
we Latinos like to drink. What can we say?
Wendy,
who doesn't?
You know the power, though. You were up with us and my family till 5. We were all drinking till 5 in the morning. And then the next morning, my mom wakes up at 7 to make breakfast. And I was up too. And we were all fine. And she was like, how the hell?
Same with like me and my mom, my family. Like, we get together New Year's Eve. We get drunk as hell. And like, even the year DJ was first born, he was like maybe 6 months old. And we're all drinking. And we got the stereo blasting. He's sleeping away. And it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I had been drinking from like 7 o'clock the night before, and I went and passed out. And 2 hours later, I heard him crying on the baby monitor and didn't even think about it. Just jumped up, grabbed him, went out, started warming up a bottle. And people that had stayed at my house are like, hear me in the kitchen because they're like crashed on the couch. And they're looking over at me and they're like, fuck, dude, how are you even moving? I'm like, shit, this is day ending in day. Got to warm this bottle. This kid's hungry, you know? Like nothing had ever happened. And everybody else in my house, like outside of my family, was fucking dead. And I'm up 2 hours later feeding the kid, just living my life like nothing happened. Even Aaron witnessed that. Because we'd be out at the bar, last call would be like 3 o'clock in the morning, and you know, maybe we'd stop, get something to eat after, and everybody would like leave, go their separate ways. I would literally go to the parking lot of my job because I had to be in at 6 a.m. And I'd just pull up, park, pass out. And 3 hours later, he'd be pulling up, like knocking on my window. And I'm like, I'm cool. Let's do this.
Yeah. We definitely, we did that a lot. Almost
like, we ain't no bitches. We drank.
and always came in.
And always came in on time, did our jobs, didn't fuck around. Might have smelled a little bad because once you get to sweating in that summer heat and you've been drinking like we did, it don't smell nice. But we got the job done.